almost 30 years later, when we first met our crazy master in India, and you are as young in your heart as 30 or 50 years ago. What made you enjoy life so much that you could keep that childlikeness or what playfulness in you, that people come up and hug you and kiss you and play with you? Just walking over here, I could hardly pass 1 meter without you getting these hugs from these pretty young Indian girls. No, but what's the secret between living and playing golf in India, and if you would have lived a retired life or a millionaire's life in America? What's the difference, you reckon?
God, that's hard to put an answer to. But somehow, you know, just the life in India is a little bit more carefree and a little bit more meditative, because the people in India move slower, do things slower than they do in the West. And so playing golf here in India is sort of like taking a stroll in a park. And where I came from in the West, why, when we had our 4-ball and we're going down the fairway, we're okay and we're so intense, whereas the Indians sort of stroll down the thing, and they take so much time setting up their putts and getting, and even if people tell them to rush, which I do because I'm always in a hurry, I've learned to slow down quite a bit by playing the golf here as opposed to in India, opposed to America. And in the process, my swing has gotten better because now I'm more in tune with my body, more in tune with what's happening in the moment.
Before we started this interview, you were telling me about how much Osho commune enriches your golf, and vice versa, how much the golf or the inner experience, the inner game of golf enriches your meditation in the commune. So what can you say to that, being here for 28, 30 years around Osho? What could you tell somebody who hasn't been into meditation and hasn't been to India and hasn't had that experience of what golf also has to give beyond scratch handicap and under par rounds and whatever?
What a question. There is so much involved in this thing, it's hard to know where to start to answer something like that. But from being with Osho for 30 years, this type of feeling, the type of thing, rather than looking at the outside world, you know, Osho taught us that the inner world is more important than the outside world. And this takes a different aspect in your golf also. Whereas in the past, I used to think only of the game, and I used to want to get to win something so that I could be the hero. And now it's more or less playing for satisfaction, playing for inner peace, if you will, as opposed to something outer that I'm a game. Now, I also play in tournaments, and that's also a part of the golf game, to be able to play in tournaments. But mostly it's about the satisfaction that I get from being who I am, and also on the golf course now, from being with Osho and being in the moment and being the witness. As I'm walking down the fairways nowadays, I'm looking at the trees, I'm looking at the sky, I'm watching the birds fly by. And on our golf course, we have some beautiful birds that I never noticed before when I was in the West. But here we have kingfishers and we have eagles and things like that flying around. So being with Osho has taken me away from the intensity of only the golf. Now when I play golf, it's also like taking a stroll in the park, and it's also about being with comrades, and it's also about my own inner satisfaction from playing this golf. So there's quite a bit that has happened to my being over the years.
And what techniques you would imagine or recommend have been the most enriching for your game? Talking about the techniques you got acquainted with or learned in the commune. I know you have been into a lot of martial art exercises.
Yes.
And
yes, one thing that has helped me, of course, is Tai Chi, and I do Tai Chi from time to time. Although at one period I was doing it every day, and now I only do it occasionally. And I was also teaching Tai Chi for a while. But this Tai Chi is a way of moving your body and being completely focused, coming from the hara, so that you're always centered in everything that you do. And in the process, you know, I've also been in some groups where we have the breathing techniques, so that your breath is one of the most important things in the golf swing. As you swing, if you hold your breath, it's like you're anxious about something. If you're able to allow your breath to flow and let go, then you have a nice smooth swing like Ernie Els. He's one of my idols for watching the swing and seeing how he does it. Yeah.
And how about you leading meditations yourself? Is there anything you reckon would help the golf, tennis swing or whatever?
Yes. I lead Vipassana sometime, which is just sitting in silence and allowing your mind not to have any thoughts, which is almost impossible, but this is what we do. And the other meditation I lead is called No Dimensions, and it's one of Osho's last meditations, and it's a Sufi movement and a sound movement, so you have Sufi sounds. And with these movements, you're able to move your body in almost the same way as you would do a golf swing or even a tennis swing. And in fact, in our tennis classes that we had here, we used to use this meditation on the tennis court for people to get into the groove of breathing and swinging at the same time.
So you reckon for somebody who is interested in more depths of the game, this would be a good place to come to and go in an adventure of the inner game?
Oh my gosh, to me this is the best place in the whole world. There is no place like this resort that we have here. Of course, our golf club, golf course is about 7 minutes away by what we call a rickshaw here. And to find this place, and if to enrich your game, this would be the ideal place, because this is a meditation resort. And by meditation resort, we mean looking at yourself, going in, finding out who you are, finding out why you're doing things, and why you're even existing in life, you know, and what is life. And through this process that we have here, then you take it out on the golf course and you watch your game and you say, my gosh, you know, what am I doing? And then immediately you start being the witness of your swing, you start being a witness of yourself, you start being a witness of everything that's happening. It's really, really, probably for me, I think this would be the best place in the whole world for a person to come to find out not only about his golf, about it being, because many times, you know, our life is on the golf course, you know. Things that you do on the golf course, sometimes you do unconsciously. You're not even aware that you're doing these things. And here, almost all of the teachings that they have here, and we have a university here that teaches awareness. And so everything comes about awareness from the inside as well as the outside.
Thank you, Sam. It was wonderful getting all this personal experience and knowledge.
I'm really surprised I'm saying the things I'm saying. I don't know where they're coming from. You didn't tell me what the questions were going to be, and so the answers are just coming from within.
Thank you.